This is a story about an ugly duckling who risks everything to win the prince's favor. It begins with a nose job without anesthesia. Then comes eating scallion stalks to lose weight, and even using a fish hook to attach fake eyelashes. You might not believe it. Surprisingly, it's actually adapted from the classic fairy tale Cinderella. Except this time, the main character is no longer the beautiful Cinderella, but her ugly season. A girl named Vera is reading Prince Julian's poetry collection. Her mind is filled with scenes of them being in love. Even though they've never met, Vera has already fallen in love with him. Her mother's slap brings Vera back to reality. Today is an important day for their family. Her mother, Karma, is getting remarried. The three of them arrive at their destination. Her fiancé has already arranged a car to pick them up. As they get into the car one by one, their personalities begin to show. Mother Karma is calm and experienced. She's composed and proper. Younger sister Lily snubs the coachman's handshake. It's just getting in a car. Do you really need to help us? Meanwhile, Vera is flattered by the attention and even gives him a small bow. Though unattractive, she greatly enjoys any gesture of male attention. The three of them soon arrive at their destination. The host is an elderly nobleman, Karma's soon-to-be husband. Next to him is his daughter, Ige. Ige's name symbolizes purity and elegance, and she truly lives up to it. White doves even flutter behind her. Vera is so stunned by the sight that she closes her mouth in embarrassment. Karma and the old man hold their wedding ceremony. They become a family. Vera is the eldest, followed by Age, and then Lily. After the wedding, Age takes Vera on a tour of the estate. During the tour, they even meet the young stable hand. The estate's luxury far exceeds Vera's imagination. Closets full of clothes, beds draped in silk, fresh flowers in the wash basin, and a dazzling array of jewelry. But what catches Vera's attention the most is the location of the estate. From Ige's bedroom window, she can see the royal palace directly. Definitely a palace district property. Her beloved Prince Julian lives right there.
Har du läst prinsens poesi? Jag vill gifta mig med han. Det vill jag verkligen.
At dinner time, to welcome Kama's family, the old man cut a cake. The whole family was full of affection, enjoying a joyful time. Everyone was very happy. The old man even smashed some cake at Vera, causing everyone to burst out laughing. But his wasteful act at lunch was quickly punished. Suddenly, his face changed. He had a heart attack. His role in this story has ended. Heartbroken, Age locked herself in her room, refusing to eat or drink. Vera came to visit her with some food. To comfort her, Vera shared her own experience. After all, she had also lost her father. If not for that, we wouldn't have become family. Time will heal all wounds. But she didn't expect Age to scoff at her words. She even accused them, "My dad just died, and you're already taking over the house? Do you know why my father married your mother?"
Om det inte var för pengarna så skulle pappa aldrig haft något med er att göra.
Vilka pengar?
Din mammas pengar såklart.
After hearing that, Vera's face changed. "For my mom's money? What a coincidence. My mom married your dad for his money too." Vera was ultimately a step too late. Creditors had already come knocking. All of the old man's assets were to be confiscated. All that was left for them was a big house and a little pocket money on the table. Kama cried her eyes out. "What should I do now? I'm old and no longer attractive, dragging two burdens with me. Where will I find another man willing to marry me?" Vera, being a good daughter, vowed bravely. "Without an elder brother, I'll take on the burden. I can get married too. I can fall in love too."
Kan du gifta mig?
Vem var med prins?
Ta en cykelspärr, jag tar mig.
Can you blame me for being ugly? Isn't it a matter of genetics? Meanwhile, Ige was praying to her mother beside her father's corpse, hoping not to share the same fate. To her surprise, a white dove appeared silently. Her wish came true. A royal decree arrived. The palace and Prince Julian invited all noble ladies from across the land to attend a ball 4 months later. The soldier gave both him and Vela an invitation letter. Here comes the opportunity! Vera was beyond excited. As the saying goes, to do a good job, one must first sharpen their tools. So Mom immediately took Vera to a beauty clinic. After a deep facial aesthetics evaluation, the cosmetic expert tailored a 3D synergistic upgrade plan for her based on the foundational logic of facial ecosystems. First, a comprehensive dental correction management. Remove the braces, then focus on a refined 3D nose enhancement plan. The goal? Taller, prettier, and more refined. Finally, the implementation of an eyelash enhancement program. As they say, the eyes are the windows to the soul. A bit more lashes make the window look bigger. That's all I can say. Can I work on it now? Mom quickly replied, "Oh, don't rush. I'll pay you double when you're done." Only Lily saw the nurse wiping blood from the floor nearby. So, next day, the doctor was already at work. First, he yanked off Vera's braces with large pliers. The action was rough and direct, but the result was acceptable. Next was the nose job. When you stare into the abyss also stares into you. The doctor shockingly used a chisel to break her nasal bone. The surgery ended. Vera's nose was fitted with a stabilizer, making her already unappealing appearance even worse. Then, she was advised to join a dance class. Teacher Sophie, under the king's orders, would select a lead dancer and 2 supporting dancers for the opening performance. She bluntly stated that the ball's attendees would be wealthy and noble. If you could perform, you'd surely land yourself a rich husband. Vera made up her mind to seize this opportunity. She took the front row seat during class. She hoped to outshine everyone through hard work and talent, but reality hit hard. Halfway through the lesson, the teacher suddenly told Vera to move to the back. "You're too ugly for my eyes." Then, the Acer asked the good-looking Ager to come to the front row.
Pozycja głowa wszystko wiedzie. Förstår du inte?
The last row was filled with equally unattractive girls. That was where Vera truly belonged. To become beautiful, weight loss was a must. At dinner time, Vera, who had trained all day, just wanted a big meal. But her dinner turned out to be just a bowl of lemon water. Watching her sister eat meat and fish made her jealous. Vera was so envious that she cried. Before she could complain, Age spoke up first. "My father has been dead for days, and he still hasn't been buried. When are we going to hold the funeral?" Karma gave her usual response. "It's difficult. We'll talk about it after the ball, once Vera is married." Even though she was married for just a day, Karma was now the legal mistress of the house, in full control of the family finances. Ige was furious. "You have money to give your daughter plastic surgery, but no money for my dad? Can a corpse wait 4 months?" But Karma didn't care at all. She even demanded that Age hand over clothes she hadn't worn so Vera and Lily could have them. Angry, Ige could only cry to her father's body at night. That's when she discovered her father had already started decomposing. The first round of training was over. The performance list for the ball was announced. Of course, the beautiful Ige made the list. Vera didn't have much hope, but she glanced at the list anyway. To her surprise, her name was at the very bottom. It didn't matter why one name was crossed out. It must have been because of her hard work. A happy life with the prince was just around the corner. The second round of advanced training began. First, the teacher performed a dance. Then, she asked the students if anyone could do it. Everyone raised their hands. Vera didn't at first. But after seeing everyone else do it, she raised hers too. Anyone who has been to school knows this feeling. Not raising your hand at that moment, could make you look bad. But, to her shock, the teacher picked Vera. "Come here, you. Give it a try." Vera forced herself to perform, but the teacher quickly stopped her.
Ducha talan. Bodkastat talan. Jag vill inte ha dig. Din mamma har betalat mig, pravda?
The teacher publicly humiliated Vera in front of the whole class. "You were bribed, and you're still so arrogant?" Then, she called Ige and 2 other girls to perform. Clearly, they were the ones the teacher had chosen to be the main performers. Vera was heartbroken, but she had some self-awareness. With her triple-layer belly fat, she found herself disgusting. The next day, Teacher Sophie called the students in for a talk. Vera laid her cards on the table. She knew she was fat and ugly, completely hopeless. But he didn't expect Sophie to praise him. She said she saw a lot of herself in him. As it turned out, Sophie was also a product of plastic surgery. She carefully observed Vera's appearance. Then she praised him. "You're changing your appearance to match your ideal image of yourself. Just like me, you're a brave loner." Then she said she had something for Vera.
Det är det inre som räknas.
A tapeworm egg was inside the small box. As long as Vera swallows it, she can eat as much as she wants afterwards. Any food she eats will go into the tapeworm's body, so she won't gain weight. Once she had married the prince, she could take the antidote and get rid of the worm. It was a perfectly planned scheme. Lily tried to stop her sister after hearing about the plan, but Vera mocked her for being childish. After returning home, Ige looks for the gardener. Clearly, they are in love. However, Ige was determined to marry the prince and change her fate. There was nothing they could do but hide their love. Vera, on the other hand, makes up her mind and swallows a tapeworm egg. Suddenly, a bird falls at her feet. The sound of laughter could be heard in the distance. When she turns her head, she sees her beloved prince peeing. Vera hadn't expected the prince's friends to be so rude. She was quite scared. She was overcome with shame. Nevertheless, she turned around and continued to watch her lover from afar in silence. Until, late at night, Vera finally returned home. As she passed the stables, she suddenly heard strange noises. She peeked over to investigate. To her surprise, she saw Ige and the gardener planting something. Vera watched with interest. However, a startled horse nearby made a noise. News of the incident quickly reached Karma. She finally had a reason to punish Ige. Karma demoted her to the status of a servant. The gardener was kicked out. Meanwhile, Vera, who was affected by tapeworms, had an increasingly insatiable appetite. And just like that, 3 months had passed. The lilies had grown quite big. She took over the boys' work in the stable. Ige was also getting used to life as a servant. Compared to before, Vera's nose finally took shape. It had indeed become much more pointed. Her body had also become much slimmer. But even so, she still couldn't rival Ige's beauty. She proceeded to the final step of her surgery: eyelash implantation. First, they positioned her head. Then they applied some anesthetic. The surgery officially began. They used a hook to sew the lashes in bit by bit. Vera screamed in pain, but no one could hear her. It was probably the price she had to pay for wanting to look beautiful. His vision was temporarily impaired due to the surgery, but the parasites in Vera's stomach continued to rumble. Vera was starving. Meanwhile, Lily woke up to a nightmare. When she woke up, she saw that her period had arrived, meaning she had become a woman. She was afraid of being discovered, knowing she would face the same fate as Vera and Ige. Vera got out of bed. She fumbled around in the corridor. She bumps into Vera, who has also just come out. They both have secrets to hide. Vera said that she was going to the bathroom. Lily didn't respond. Instead, she turned away to tidy up the sheets. Vera then fumbled her way to the kitchen, where she could eat to her heart's content. Following the scandal involving Age, Karma confined her at home. She lied to the school, claiming that Age was missing her father and had fallen ill. Age had originally been chosen to be the main dancer. Now, the teacher has to choose someone else. That was Vera's chance. By then, she had changed completely. She was successfully promoted to the role of lead dancer. However, unbeknownst to the public, Vera's condition was deteriorating. All her nutrients were being used by the parasite because she was eating too much. Her hair began to fall out and clump together. Meanwhile, Karma was working hard on arranging Vera's future wedding. She found a merchant who brought a beautiful dress for Vera. The dress was exquisite, but Vera's messy, greasy appearance clashed with it. It was then that Karma realized her daughter had gone bald, but that's okay. The merchant also had a wig. Tomorrow is game day. As long as they could qualify, no one will care what's real or fake. Age didn't want to miss the opportunity at the party tomorrow either. She found the clothes that her mother had left behind. She intends to impress everyone tomorrow night. However, just before she leaves, Vera stops her right in the middle of the street. How could she let such a hard-earned opportunity be ruined? Vera immediately tore Age's clothes to shreds. Their fight quickly attracted Karma's attention. Vera started ranting immediately.
Mamma vil at du skal på ballet!
Jenta mi, hvordan skal hun kunne gå på ball når hun ikke har noen ting å ha på seg?
Age placed the dress over her father's insect-ridden corpse. Unexpectedly, a miracle happened. Age saw the spirit of her mother, who had died many years ago. The tiny insects in the dress had sewn it for her. They had even transformed into a pair of high heels. There was no doubt that Age was the real Cinderella. The party had finally begun. Vera had arrived in the land of his dreams, the palace. His stomach was rumbling with hunger by now, but he had to endure it for the sake of his future. As a prominent debutante, Vera attracted a great deal of attention. She captivated the prince's gaze completely. Vera's appearance was perfect. The nobles immediately approached her mother. Everyone hoped to get a chance to dance with her. However, it wasn't their turn yet. They all had to wait until the prince had made his choice. The noblewomen formed a circle. The prince examined them one by one. Finally, he locked his gaze on Vera. The music began. The dance started. His beautiful dream was about to be realized. Just as she was about to grab it, it slipped away. Cinderella stole the limelight at the ball. To make matters worse, Vera couldn't bear the hunger any longer. Feeling devastated and angry, she ran outside. She started vomiting. She vomited up a pile of worm eggs. Vera was terrified at the sight. Karma rushed over. He didn't care at all about what she had vomited. Even though the prince already belongs to Age, tonight's opportunity should not be wasted. There are so many nobles present. They must marry Vera off tonight. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to afford the plastic surgery.
Skjerp deg! Skjerp deg!
Vera was thrown back onto the dance floor unceremoniously. The dance partners around her kept changing. Vera looks around and feels like everything smells of pomade and decay. And a coincidence happens. Vera and Ige meet each other eye to eye. The clock struck midnight. Cinderella's magic was about to disappear. She quickly fled the party. The prince chased after her but found only one shoe had been left behind. He announced publicly that his soulmate would be whoever's foot fit into that shoe. This means that Vera still has a chance. Meanwhile, Edgar is busy taking care of his rats. Vera barges in with a knife. She chases and slashes wildly at Ige. In such a desperate situation, Karma steps in and lets the chips fall where they may. But Vera dares not kill Ige. She had no choice but to let him escape. This time, even Karma no longer supports her. "I gave you a chance and you blew it." No matter what she does, Vera's feet just won't fit into those shoes. What should she do now? She looked at the knife beside her and made a decision. If she cut off the excess part, the shoe would fit her foot. There was no time to hesitate. Vera pulled up a stool. Stepping on it, she braced herself and cut off all 5 toes at once. Her screams of pain attracted her sister's attention. She quickly bandaged Vera's wounds. Karma was coming. The waitress fainted on the spot. Karma saw the scene and immediately understood what had happened.
Dock ut ett färg. Prinsen har vänstra skon.
Lily couldn't believe what she had just heard. She stormed out of the room in disgust. They had all gone mad. Karma raised the knife again. He cut off Vera's other leg. Unconscious, Vera dreams of meeting the prince and living happily ever after. But in the end, it was all just a dream. When Vera woke up, she found herself lying on the bed. Both her legs were covered in blood. A voice sounded from outside announcing, "His Royal Highness the Prince has arrived." All she had to do now was put on her shoes and rush out to greet him. Maybe she still had a chance. Vera didn't care anymore, even if she had to crawl. Her body was unstable, so she rolled down the stairs. She even lost some teeth from hitting the stairs. When she looked up, she saw Ige beaming at her. Vera finally realized how much of a fool she had made of herself. Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. However, this story is not yet over. Lily woke Vera up. She dragged her back to the room. She gave Vera the antidote to the parasite. After a while, her body started to react. Slowly, a worm began to crawl out of her mouth. Lily grabbed it and pulled it out slowly. The longer she pulled, the longer the worm got, like a game of tug-of-war. Finally, the large parasite was successfully removed from Vera's body. Everything had finally been settled. Lily had decided to take her sister and leave this place. Before they left, Lily went into Karma's room to collect some valuables. Her own mother was still in bed with a man, enjoying herself. Karma was slightly embarrassed when she saw Lily, but at the man's insistence, she looked down again. She desperately needed money from him. Seeing this, Lily had no more doubts. Despite Vera being unable to walk, Lily still took her away. They both left their mother to find their own way, to live for themselves, not to be someone's subordinate. Ige's father decayed into a skeleton in the castle, forgotten by everyone. And with that, this story truly ends. See you in the next video.